The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Welcome you and all to another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. And today we have a very special show because the place we record houses a lot of shows, and one of the shows that does their podcast here is actually going to be here today. Let me do a quick intro. We have actor Manny Lerna, was born in Texas, aka Manny. Professional acting career he began in the movie Extermination Team Bravo. He also produced, worked, and stunt coordinated for a television series called Task. We have Lupe Chavez, baby making machine, Silver Fox, very active vocal cords. And we also have Rashaad. He used to be in the Navy and met these two gentlemen and formed what's called the Canso Show. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
What's up, everybody? I just want to thank everybody. I don't know what to do with my...
Use your studio voice, bro.
Use your studio voice, bro.
Studio voice.
What's up, everybody? My name is Manny.
No, not your bedroom voice.
Studio voice.
It's not that kind of show.
Oh, my bad.
Whatever you do on the podcast, do that. not this. All right, so
the casting couch.
welcome to the podcast. Appreciate it. Even though it is a black, but it's not that.
It does look like
kind
it.
of.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know. It's like casting couch here.
I walked to the studio. I was just like, oh, not this again.
I already work here. Like, why?
Like,
If you haven't been curious about their podcast, this is some of the examples that y'all will get. So I appreciate y'all. Welcome to the podcast. Appreciate y'all.
Thank
I'll
you.
apologize in advance.
That's all good.
I don't apologize.
I'm the one that brought it upon myself, so I'm good.
I was about to say, you brought this upon yourself.
Yes, I did.
Bro, you
Here we go. So we're gonna start with a segment that I like to call Preguntas al Chile. So right now we have Flames. It's a digital Chile.
Preguntas al
We have
Chile.
Flames playing right now. All right, we're gonna start with Rashaad and we're gonna move our way that way.
Okay.
All right.
Tacos or tortas?
Tacos. Oof. Tortas.
Can I have both? Can I just put both of them in there together?
I don't know why I looked over and I'm like, I'm not surprised.
The taco inside
Taco
of a
Bell,
torta?
that thing.
I'm a fat boy, bro. Like, you don't know. Like,
He snores while he's awake, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. Maybe
That's
we'll
just feel
experience
give me a
it.
minute.
We'll keep it entertaining so you won't fall asleep.
Let's go get
All
hambre.
right, corn tortilla, flour tortillas.
Corn all the way.
Flour.
Flour.
All right, gorditas or sopes?
Gorditas.
I have a gorditas in my day.
I like.
Shout out to Lupe. How you doing?
I love gorditas, but sopes are like,
Oh.
they make you feel like home, you know? Like, they hit different.
Okay.
All right, we have Mexican coca, jarritos.
Jarritos.
What flavor? What flavor jarrito?
Tamarind.
Jarrito.
I mean, BB, I was going to get fruit punch.
Oh, bro, really?
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Mexican Coke.
Mexican
It's a
coke.
different flavor. If
All
you
right.
don't know, go get one.
No, I like the Colombian.
But still, Jarritos.
Wait, what Coke are we talking about?
No, we're not talking about that one.
Oh, my
The
bad.
drinkable one, not the throwback one.
Coca-Cola's good too.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola's
Back
good
in the
too.
day, Coca-Cola
Yeah, used to have.
Coke.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agua de horchata, jamaica, or tamarindo.
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 Oh, I'm embarrassed. I don't like none of them.
You don't like none of them. What about piña or melon or no aguas at all? No spa water.
No spot water.
Okay, no spa water for you. What about yourself?
My favorite spa water would be watermelon.
Watermelon, agua de sandía.
I
Okay.
love me some watermelon.
Salsa verde, salsa roja.
Verde.
Verde.
I always want the red, but I always end up getting the green. It's like I want it because it looks good, but I know the green tastes better.
Yeah.
No, it does, bro.
The color is a little bit more appealing, but you're right. Okay, menudo or pozole?
That's simple for me.
Menudo.
Menudo.
I like pozole.
Okay.
Fat ass.
Yeah.
Churros or flan?
Churros.
Ooh, both.
Choco flan.
Choco flan.
Choco flan. I like how he just comes up with his choco flan.
You want to answer, I'm going to give you one, but it might not be the one you want me to give you.
All right, gotta drink a little bit, like some beers.
A
No.
little bit.
Corona, Dos Equis, Modelo, Victoria.
Modelo.
I'm drinking all of them.
You take all
I'll
of them.
take all of them. Yeah.
I'm always going to grab Modelo.
Modelo?
My
Okay.
favorite
My first
beer
one.
is the free beer, by the way.
Was that?
My favorite beer is the free beer.
Yeah.
100%.
Tequila, mezcal.
Ooh.
Mezcal.
Both.
Both?
Tequila.
Tequila.
I will say this
Can't do
though,
mezcal.
it's the mezcal.
It's got a different flavor to it, bro.
Well,
It
mezcal
is.
messed me up really bad. I went to a little flip private party, and I got so drunk.
Oh, little
I
flip.
remember.
Fancy,
Fancy.
Yeah, no, these guys. I'll tell you the story afterwards. But
Okay.
I remember that.
I
We'll get
confessed my
into
love to a girl.
We'll get into the story right after. We'll start off with that story.
No, we're
I want to hear. Valentina Tapatio Cholula sauce.
Tapatio.
Valentina.
Everybody's gonna give me shit for this, but I like Cholula.
Cholula?
Really?
Get out.
Yeah.
Right now.
Get the hell out, bro.
I'm
All
done
right,
with
you know
it.
that little candy, the paletitas, they're like mango, sandia, or elote?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which ones do you like?
The one with the spicy?
Yeah, the spice.
Yeah.
The mango. Yeah, spicy mango.
Mango.
Yeah, mango.
Mango too. Okay. Conchitas, the brown ones, the white ones are the pink ones.
Pink.
Conchitas.
Conchitas are the little
Pan?
breads.
The pan dulce.
pastries.
Oh yeah. Oh, pan dulce. The pink one.
The pink ones.
Yeah.
He said already his.
You already said yours?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
I like the brown one.
the brown ones. And they do have actual different flavors. I'll have to
Yeah.
look it up because somebody had a
Really?
question. They're slightly,
the pink
Oh,
one tastes
a
a little
slightly
sweeter.
different, but the chocolate one
Yeah.
does have, and then there's other flavors on
The
it.
brown one has that extra little flavor, that chocolatey flavor.
Yeah.
Man,
The pink one is sweet.
it's like heaven. I'm a fat boy when it comes to this.
I used to like a lot of pan dulce. All right, so one more question on this part. What does the word Latino mean to you when you first hear Latino? What does it come to mind?
Latino. When I hear Latino, I always think of friends, friends and family.
I don't know. Like, when I hear Latino, I think of like everyone else but Mexicans, like Puerto Ricans and technically, they're technically Latinos,
Yeah.
But that's what I think of.
What about yourself?
Nothing really comes to mind because everybody wants to categorize a large group of people in
Yeah.
just for one word. So I mean, for me it just categorizes everything.
Okay.
So everything that the Spanish culture has to bring. When you say Latino, I'm like, is it Mexican? Is it Cuban? Is it
Right.
Puerto Rican? Argentinian? What do you mean? You got to
Right.
be more specific. When you say Latino, I just think of everything.
That's funny.
Everybody that's brown or a lot darker.
Right. And then the second part will be, do you consider yourself a Latino? Do you identify as a Latino? My brother, he does.
I know.
But
I always,
adopted.
yeah, I always joke that like I'm Dominican, you know, because the Hispanic culture
people
has,
believe it
has
too.
really embraced me, and I've embraced them back. But I always consider myself, like in all actuality, just an ally of Latinos in general.
Nice.
But I recognize where I am in the world. You know what I'm saying?
What about yourself?
What was the question again?
Do you identify as a Latino? Do you care for the term as far as anybody
I
that
really
get
don't-
offended? If
honestly,
anybody?
No, I don't think I really care for it. Like Mexican, no matter what, I'm still Mexican. I mean, I'm a Mexican, not a Mexican.
Yeah, got it.
Big difference.
What about yourself?
Like if you were like, hey, he's Latino, I wouldn't go against it. But I'm like him. I consider myself Mexican. I mean, we're Latinos in general.
In general,
Yeah,
But
it doesn't bother you.
it doesn't bother me. But I also don't use it for myself.
Okay.
And I don't use Latinx.
I was just about to say, would
can't do
you
that.
consider yourself a
Latinx is so
Latinx?
stupid, bro.
That's the dumbest
This
thing.
is
to each
I
their
don't know
own.
what-
As far as how they want to use it, it's more confusing because it's already the fundamentals of the language, right? It's just the basic language, because I can't speak whatever language. Let's say if I was native, I don't know what it is. All I know is Spanish, and English now, but I don't know. I just know that is the origin when I went to school for the time that I did.
Right.
That is the way that it was identified. It's a little bit more confusion already with just learning Spanish, and even taking a Spanish class is a little confusing for Mexicanos when they try to give you the different Spanish from Spain.
Right.
And now they add in different. I understand where they're coming from and being more inclusive, but it's already inclusive within the word itself because that's the purpose of the word. But I mean, free speech, whatever you want to consider yourself, do so.
Yeah, true.
So But I see where they're coming from, and actually, if they really look at the term where it came from, politicians began to using that more than anything. It wasn't like a Mexicano Latino stood up and said, "I want to do this." It's more of the politicians can push in that word, just like Latino, to generalize and put us on in one instead of like, we're gonna call you Puerto Rican is or whatever. No, we're just gonna call you Latinx and just
Latinx,
let
yeah.
it be.
Yeah.
So, what about y'all?
Well, see, I always thought like Latino was a broad enough term that where you really didn't need like Latinx. You know what I mean? You can call, Puerto Rican, Chilean, Mexican, Latino, and it wouldn't be like a bad thing, like a slur. So if you say like Latinx, and then it's like, well, what is Latinx? Well, that means you could either be Chilean or Argentinian or Mexican. I was like, well, isn't that the same thing?
I think they use the term to be more inclusive towards women.
Male and female. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say there's a group of 3 women,
Mhm.
Latinas.
Latinos.
But if you have a male that joins the group,
Latinos.
now they're Latinos.
Right.
And they don't like that term because they don't feel like they're excluding the females.
Mhm.
But Latinos
gonna-
in general is a bunch.
Right.
And they don't like because it sounds more of the masculine term. And that's the reason why they don't feel like it's
It means
included.
everybody's just arguing about. Someone always has to argue about something. This is like
This is what we do. Whenever we live in a first world, we have first world problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you think anywhere else in the world they're trying to find something to eat or water? Do they have time to discuss this?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
don't shit about Latinx.
They don't. We just have those kind of problems, and I guess it's part of, I don't know. I've never been anywhere else. Well, I've seen other stuff, but I don't really take the time to talk to them about
Right.
what is their problems.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why we have all these. They,
Well, people with
they make a
time,
lot
yeah.
of sense
They
nowadays.
got time
Yeah,
time to
we
be
got time.
Yeah.
to be heard about it.
Yeah, we got time.
Like
I mean, when your
you
stomach
go-
is full,
Yeah, when you go on the other side of the world, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
What about yourself? What do you think of the term Latinx?
I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And whoever came up with this should be slapped. Honestly, it's just
This is a random dude just gets slapped. What was that for? You know why.
You would know exactly why. And go like this as you walk away.
Did you do Wakanda forever? No,
no,
it's
not
Wakanda.
Wakanda.
Wakanda's right over left, right? Left over right now. It's
It's
just,
always right over left, bro.
What about you, Lupe? What do you think?
I just don't. I mean, we're already generalized as a group. So when you say Latin, you speak for Colombian, Brazilian, you know, everything. Now you put Latinx, now you speak for men and women,
Yeah.
It's like there's already a lot.
There'll be another one later on breaking
Yeah.
down to the molecule.
And, and it's white
Big-
folks using it for us.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the
not
thing.
really us, like
There's because I know y'all on TikTok too. There's a lot of TikTokers that don't, or certain areas that don't even like the word term Latino because they feel like, look, all the stuff that all those people brought, they colonized, they killed, and this, which it is true. But and I see where they're coming from, but I'm like y'all. I'm Mexicano. Was born in the region of Mexico. If they want to generalize me, I'm a human being at the end of the day. Even though the show itself is named Latin Factor, is because the term in general is familiar to people, and I want to showcase the human part. Because whenever they start calling you criminals and different things like that, you take away from the humanity of the person, and you can treat them less. And then that's not going to be the case because we've done some amazing things as human beings. Period. But if you want to go by region, like Color TV wouldn't be here without Mexican
actually, I
inventors.
just found that out. I didn't know that about that. I thought that was pretty cool.
And there's all kinds of other stuff. We have first astronaut, a female Mexican American,
Shout out.
that her dad didn't allow her to speak Spanish because she didn't want to be discriminated when she went to school for the same reason that time that was happening. So she wanted to learn Spanish, but her dad didn't let her because she didn't want to have any problems when she was going to school. Instead of like talking about like being in the pool and just you talk funny and they're gonna look at you funny type of stuff, So
don't even get me started with the school system.
all that is weird. All right, so let's start with the name itself, the Cancel Show. Why did you come up with the name? Because they used to have another show before, which was the Latin Nation, and you were part of that.
Yeah,
right?
that was actually that's where me and Rashaad met on Grindr. I mean,
Wait,
what?
Bros, Bumble.
What is your superhero name? I know it's.
Oh yeah, he's a stallion and black lavender.
Black Lavender.
That's right.
Mine was Latin number.
Silver Fox.
Oh yeah, just Silver Fox.
And then
What
what was yours?
You were stallion.
Oh yeah, Stallion. Manny the Stallion.
Manny the Stallion.
Those are our porn stars'
Black
name, by the way.
Black Lavender, and that will be your superhero name.
Yeah.
So if you ever want to find me on Pornhub, just type in Silver Fox.
There
Right.
you go.
Hey,
And
support
it's-
my OnlyFans.
Hey, and it's just videos of him liking the best porns. I love this one. I love this one.
Oh, doing like a reaction video?
Yeah, he does a reaction.
Do
Oh,
the reaction. Oh, he got it all over her face.
no, it's the
This is the kind of conversation they have, and they're going
We're
more in
random.
detail. They're going to keep it a little less PG today just for us.
all right, like I said, I don't apologize for being me.
Nah.
No,
Okay, so the Latin Nation, you started. You
we
met
started
him?
with we well, it was
It was me, him, and another
Lena-
guy. Actually, I was the
Lena
producer
Brooklyn.
of the show. I was behind.
yeah, he was behind the mics. He would like, hey, he would be the board guy.
Mhm.
And long story short, it fell off, man. It was just like it would. The two hosts couldn't get along.
Yeah.
They couldn't be in the same room. It would fight, and then as soon as the camera came on, they're like, oh hey, back, welcome back, this and that, and
Yeah.
eventually got boring and tired, and he kind of had to move on and do the whole family thing,
Yeah.
which is honorable. So I stayed behind, and it just fell apart. And I think during the pandemic, was it during the pandemic? That's when
Nah, it was. Oh, we decided to start it up again.
yeah, because I was like, yo, bro, I told him like I've been having the itch to come back on the air, and I was like, and he was again still doing the family thing, and I'm like, bro, I really want to come back. I want to come back because I miss it.
Mhm.
I miss the whole like we have good chemistry together, so let's try it. And so we had another friend. We had another friend that was going to join us, but he couldn't make it. And I was like, yo, and it started us two. Then I'm like, man, if I have to put my hat on somebody, I would put my, I brought up my brother-in-law. I'm like, that dude is funny. He's real. Like, he has chemistry. And funny story that one day he came up to the show just to say hi.
Yeah, I was
the
listening
second
to that
episode.
show.
Yeah, the
That was
second episode. He just walks
Yeah,
in.
I can hear him. He wasn't even on the mic, and you put him on the mic.
Yeah.
We put him on the mic. Yep.
Yeah, I was just bystander.
Yeah, and he just gets on there and just starts talking shit. And he didn't like it at first because it was chaos. We were everywhere, but that's how he is. Like, he's a person that's
So I'm harder on myself than anybody else. You know what I mean?
it's the most played episode to date.
Yep. It is.
I still don't understand why he was standing up the whole first second.
Nobody does.
episode.
Yeah,
Everybody's always
I-
asking me, what was
I
you
had
doing?
so much
Trying to
every-
establish your dominance over the podcast. Is that what it was?
Yes, it was. Look at me. Look how tall I am.
That's right. I had to make sure everyone knew that I was a tall guy.
I mean, you're next to two small Mexicans, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody knows.
I didn't really need that.
Everybody knows.
Okay.
You didn't need
Well, that
that.
wasn't in those two. Yeah, I want to make myself taller.
Exactly.
No,
So that's how we started it up. We
just
start-
nervous energy.
Yeah. And then like the name cancel, I told him we came out about it
Because we were talking about like cancel culture.
cancel culture, and I just said we got it already. He goes, what is that? I said cancel. He goes, nah, bro, the cancel show.
The cancel.
So I already had to cancel, like that was already in the works, and I came up with the actual damn logo right there.
The logo.
on
The logo
at
we
the
used,
restaurant
this one here?
on the
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, I have to have it next. Because my little brother, shout out to my brother Tony, on his Tinder profile, he had my name is Anthony Lerma, but the L is silent because I take no L's.
Take no
And I said, you know what? And I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? What if you put an X over the L because we take no L's? And that's how that came about. So
That was your slogan for a little while. Y'all were using it in the first episode.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that was-
Funny story. I told that to him, and I was gonna say it, and I guess he was nervous. He goes,
Oh,
you
yeah,
take no
that's it.
L's. I'm like, you took my fucking joke, bro.
Like, wait for the cue.
Yeah, but the thing is, me and this guy around pretty much are around each other that we know the same jokes, the same lingo. So sometimes it sounds like we're saying the same thing. Same thing with not really
Yeah.
him. Because he's more, he's more out there than with the words.
Out there with the words.
Yeah,
In other words, I'm the one that just speaks. There's no thought process.
he just
I'm just thinking
Like
and
zero
I'm
filter.
going.
Yeah.
Zero filtration. Just
Like, you know
Yeah.
how people
Spit 'em out.
plan to say certain things? Like, I'm sure you have a game plan of what you're going to say. I just show up and I'm just like, all right, guys, what are we going to say?
Let's see what happens.
There's
Okay.
been plenty of times if you go back on the show, he'll say something. I'm like, I can't believe you said that. Okay.
what was the thing that he said or any of y'all said? It was like,
Oh,
man, we're really gonna.
I'm not gonna say the name who, but I know there was this one time. He was talking shit about sometime I acted. He goes, yeah, something. Let's eat. And I said, oh, like everybody in the industry, the Dallas industry knows who he's talking
Yeah.
about.
I
I'm like,
his
oh.
catchphrase. He's semi-famous in like independent films and stuff like that. So we have a lot of fans that do independent films, so they know us. So they know who exactly what I was talking about when I'm using this catchphrase and making fun of them. So yeah,
Call them out on there.
I mean,
So you were concerned that they would maybe blackball you because they heard the joke and they might not like it, or because
what's the worst
they
they're
use
gonna
the
do?
reference?
What's the worst they're gonna do? Cancel me? I'm already canceled.
Okay.
or
You see what
the
I'm saying?
I think my favorite one is when he was arguing with the stripper. We had
They brought a young lady.
Yeah.
everybody just to this day. People,
Shout out to Dulce.
Hey,
people to this day were like, does Rashaad hate girls or something? Because Rashaad,
Do you hate girls?
do you?
not all of them.
But because he has the theories about like what we were talking like your theories on
Oh, like men and women, like relationships and stuff like that. Like, you know, I have my little theories based on, you know, what I've seen and what I've experienced and stuff like that of how women operate versus how men operate.
Okay, let's talk about that because
Yeah.
I had an idea the other day that I think is interesting because y'all talked about it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about your theories and I'll tell you about what I was
So-
thinking the other day.
I think I was talking to her about how men view women as beauty objects. You know what I mean? And women view men as success objects. You know what I mean? So the more successful a man is, the more attractive he is. Whereas a man doesn't necessarily care how successful a woman is versus her beauty.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. What about y'all? You think the same thing?
I think along the lines, I think a man doesn't have no value unless he like along the lines of what he said. You know, if a man can provide, then he is valuable.
That's what it was.
If a man can't provide, then he has no value. You know, unlike us, we can love a woman being broke, being fat, being just not having homeless. We can love her unconditionally. And
That's what it was. That's what it is.
And
That's what I was arguing with this stripper
again,
about.
What about you, Lupe?
Because you gotta look at how the world is nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, because
tiptoeing around.
no, I'm not tiptoeing around. I'm just gonna use an example of what you guys said.
All right.
Someone has a woman who loves them.
Well, it's because. So yeah, I'm married. You know,
And she calls in and listens to often.
she's probably listened. Yeah, she probably listens. She'll listen to this part. But I'm married. So happily married. Yes, very very happy.
But it's to
Very
your
happy.
sister. I don't know if that counts.
So
But anyway,
I'm married, and I've been married for fucking ever. Like
you're
I
stuck
don't
now,
even
bro.
remember how many years. But
Do you remember
you know-
what freedom looks like?
no, I don't know what freedom looks like.
He's happy where he's at.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I've been
let him
handcuffed
say it.
all my life.
All right, go ahead, bro.
But like if you see a very successful man, he could be overweight, bald, whatever. But then you'll see a really good looking woman with him.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like strip club culture. You'll see the real fat drug dealer with the very very pretty stripper.
Thanks for recognizing me, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
But what does he have?
He has money.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
And then the hard-working guy that doesn't have a lot of money maybe won't get the same attention. But that's also, people look at, we're looking at fucking phones all day. So you're looking at what?
beauty standards.
Yeah, you're looking at standards that you see through the phone.
Yeah. Which are not realistic because
No.
when you see them in real life, like some, not every single woman, but a lot of them, I think it's just by default now that they do it, they put the filters on.
Oh,
real
yeah,
life.
the filters
But
are
a
on
lot
there.
of times, I understand it. You want to look your best possible thing, but sometimes when you go back and look, it's not the same. And then
They didn't look like the
I
same
had it
person.
where so I ain't recognize the person in real life.
Oh yeah.
And like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it's me. I'm like, oh, hi. It's like a couple times. And it wasn't because of me. It's because I'm used to seeing something else
Yeah.
here on my
Now, I can
phone.
get my phone right now and show
On my
you.
phone. I'm not trying to be
like-
a butt about it, but literally that's what happened.
Yeah.
Like I'm not used to seeing you.
But see,
like
that's the thing, though.
this.
Won't they fall like self love? A lot of these people preach that.
I
but
don't
yet
know about
they-
that one.
You know what I mean? It's,
I think that self love. To me, I get what they're getting as
Yeah.
far as the self love. I just don't. I agree with it because love is the feeling that you have towards another person, or love is the feeling that you have
Right.
for everybody, whoever it is. Right? It's a love for another person.
Right.
You're not two people. You're one person. You're one individual.
Right.
Maybe you exist somewhere else in the multiverse, but here in this one, you're just one individual, right?
Right.
So I think that could lead to other different things instead of just having to experience love for you to feel good about, because it
Right.
feels good for you if you fall in love. Even if somebody doesn't love you back, it still feels good for you. It doesn't feel good for the other person, even if you don't care or they don't care for you, but you feel good about it. You know, it's not for the other person, it's for you. So all that self-love thing, I just don't agree with it for the same reason. Again, you're just one individual. No matter how many people, maybe people that have problems, that have multi-personalities, maybe they do. But in regards
No, I do.
to one person, it's one person. Now, my theory was on y'all's episode that y'all were talking about women and nice guys.
Nice guys finish last.
Not only that, but I was thinking about it. It's just a messed up thought, but it is. And I know the ladies here, she might enjoy it. Okay, so some women get pregnant by supposedly assholes, right?
Yeah.
But what do they usually look like? They have good genes, right? They're strong.
Yeah.
Even though they
Right.
might be butts, a lot of the times feel like the leadership quality and type of thing. Even though their other stuff doesn't.
Yeah.
So they get what we're looking for. The best genes, right? To
Right.
pass on.
Alpha.
So they have their child. Later on, they settle with a nicer guy after they've gone through that piece.
Right.
And now is a nicer, more calmer guy provider. But she already has the kid with the other good genes. Now she can settle with this other
Oh yeah,
less.
that one was a big controversy because this fucker had a lot to say on
Alpha fucks, beta bucks.
that.
Those and can we stop talking about like we operate in that manner, because we're not animals like that.
Well, animal.
Those terms don't exist. They were made up and we
No,
embrace
I
them.
agree with you, but I
We
mean,
have
there
leadership
are-
qualities, right?
Right.
There's people that have. You can see Obama and you can say that he's alpha, but he's just a leader, right? We've been
Right.
having leaders since the beginning of the times. In our tribes, there was always a tribe leader because he was older, whatever the reason might be. And then I don't know if he got the women or not, but he was the one that we looked up to. And this has
Right.
been the same thing till now. That's the reason why we have a president.
Well, you could call. I mean, you can alpha and beta. Those are just placeholder terms, right? So, like, you know, if you're a leader, if you're a guy who has strong, you know, masculine qualities, if you have, you know, if you're a successful guy, you know what I mean. All of those qualities, you know what I mean. To say like a different term for each one, no, okay, he's just an alpha. Okay, so it's just a placeholder term. But the point is that the woman in this instance, you know, the woman she is drawn to his success, leadership, good genes, whatever. But the point is that he's a desirable person.
Yeah.
So has a kid. Well, those desirable qualities may not always come with stability.
Yeah.
So now she wants stability. Well, that's when you find the beta. And beta, that's just a guy who doesn't have all of the alpha qualities, or he might not be a leader in business. He might not be, you know, physically fit. He might not be whatever, but he has a nurturing nature. He might have a caring agreeableness, and he's
Consistent.
stable.
That's what you're saying.
I mean,
This is
or
pretty
you
much.
know, a fagula, you know, but he's
What?
He doesn't wear the pants around.
yeah,
here.
but I'm saying, but
he's a provider.
but he's a provider, so
Okay.
so she takes the bucks from the beta,
yeah.
and the alpha gets the fuck.
And I'm not saying this is a conscious like decision type of stuff, right?
this is-
because
no,
then
no,
we
it's
go back
happening.
for females try to find the best suited, and even happens in regular nature, lions
Right.
and lionesses, all that stuff. There's just something that maybe they don't realize that happens, and why are they attracted to the bad boy type of stuff? It's just maybe
It's
they
just
don't
instinct.
realize what it. I think
Yeah.
it's instinct.
And then they complain
is.
about how men are trash. How, you know, and
It takes them years to find the other, but then
yeah,
they
but now
finally do.
after so many years, and this is a bad thing. I mean, that was controversial because what do we say? It's like the kids that are yours, you can't discipline them like your kid.
Nope.
You can't. You're paying all the bills.
Yep.
You're paying, you know, and you got to bring so much to the table that
Yeah.
all you gotta say it's over and everything is taken away from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
You're basically a
And you
workhorse.
still have to pay consistently for the rest of your life, pretty much. All right, let's go back to
That's
the
for Rio
title.
because he's happily married.
Yeah. I pay child support, remember?
Oh,
Oh, dang.
Well,
They'll get
I
you.
had a son at 16.
Uh-huh.
He's 20 or 19 right now.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
You have a 19-year-old.
I have a 19-year-old. Yeah.
Wow.
He's in college now, right?
Yeah, he's in college right now. But yeah, I had a son at an early age. Child support is a wonderful thing. Yeah, I know y'all motherfuckers hate it, but pay your fucking child support, because if you want to be a dad best way to have your fucking rights.
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
can't fight
in
you.
this system,
The system, yeah.
like I'm kind of, I'm going through that too. I got a bunch of kids running around. Anyway, so
A bunch of kids.
yeah,
I'm not
some of
surprised.
them I claim, but anyway, but I agree with you with child support because it's basically the the best thing you can do is have two parents who come together to raise a child.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes one is an idiot or both of them are idiots.
But they were too young to realize what
They're
they
too
were
young
doing.
or
I was
they're
young and
ignorant, but
Yeah, 16, I don't know what the hell you doing at 16.
I was having fun.
I know.
I was having the time
you
of
still
my
having
life.
fun now?
exactly.
I'm surprised I didn't have more kids.
Right?
Dang.
Yeah.
So, it's that's why I agree with, child support because it's the best system we got. You know what I mean? Because you can't
And they can't kick you out of the kid's life because you're paying child
Yeah.
support.
exactly.
That's
If
true.
not, there'll
That's
be
why
legal
visit-
repercussions.
So a lot of the times you can't really say like women that you're not providing enough, but you are putting your part to. I mean, a lot of the times it's got the money's for the kid, so you'll be able to provide for them to have a better life. For whatever reason you're not together, that's the money for them
Yeah.
to have things for school. Stuff is expensive for school and different
expensive.
things like
Especially
that.
now.
Yeah, especially now. So all that money is going to be helpful for it as long as it's for the child.
Yeah.
And again, like you say, it'll be the best way to. As for my part on that, that racing the kids, it's not for me. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I haven't been not able to.
Right.
Give it up to the ones that do it if they are able to. But I'm not that. I want my own genetics to
There
be
you go.
passed
And there's
on
nothing-
for me.
But see, when
But
you
again, people say that,
No,
and
I
then all
heard
of a sudden,
people. I've heard people like you say that, and girls will call him, "Oh, he's trash," or "He's
Yeah,
an asshole."
I
I'm like,
understand that.
no, why?
and they can come in whatever they want. Again, but it is my life. What am I gonna do? Just
Right.
because other people are weighing in on the way that they feel like I should be acting, I
Right.
should act that way on my life and take chances that I don't feel like and I don't agree with.
Right.
Your body, your choice.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Right,
not
yeah,
the same thing. That's
Hashtag
another
me too.
topic. That's another topic. Okay, so as far as the industry, the industry that you were referring to, you're talking about the independent film industry, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what is it that y'all try to focus on as far? Because I know y'all have different. Y'all had barbecue pinche smokers barbecue.
Yeah, we
y'all
had
had
pinche smokers
different
on there.
actors,
Yeah.
stun doubles and things like that. So what is it that you try to focus on as far as the actors part? Like what is it that we might need to know that is important for the general public?
How hard they work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like a lot of people think it's easy. No, it's actually you put in when you're in that work. You do got to put in work. Sometimes you the pay is shit and long hours,
Long hours.
shitty people, but you got to put up with them because they're your co-host or they're
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
I'm not an actor, so it ain't me.
okay. Great. I'm the asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm the asshole, but still.
Yeah.
So both of y'all actors or have done acting, or
In
is
the
it only
past,
you?
he has done acting.
Yeah,
with us.
I've done
In the
that.
But
past-
you done acting
I'm
in
still doing
films.
acting, yeah, in
You still
films.
do acting.
I'm just a regular ass
Yo,
dude.
shout out to the homie Marty Bell over here.
Mm-hmm.
He's a director. Me and him work together. He's Emmy nominated.
Oh, nice.
He's filming my next porn star movie. He gets
Nah,
the good
'cause-
angles.
Nah, because whenever he films mine, the camera gets shaky, bro. It's weird.
But yes,
He gets nervous.
I don't know.
Make
It's,
you
I hope
nervous.
he's
it's
nervous.
always like towards the end of the shoot, like the camera starts
Oh,
shaking.
he shakes with you?
Yeah. It's like, no,
but,
that's not how it's supposed to go.
yeah, we work together on multiple mini projects, and like sometimes it can be a pain because it depends on who you're working with. Sometimes you get actors that are full of themselves with the ego and all that, or sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes you work together with people that you just can collab with, and you make amazing video that can make people cry all at the same time. You know,
Yeah.
so
Tell me, you were telling me the other day your story of how you got started, and it was kind of accidental, right? Like you were.
yes. Shout out to the homie Smitty. What happened was, so before I'm gonna start with this. Before I became into the acting or a teacher, I didn't want to do none of that. At this point, I was, I guess, going through a breakup, and so we were just partying. I was just living my best life.
Hit the streets like it's mandatory.
Yeah, and but I was still training. I just got my black belt in 2009.
We talking about kung fu. That's what
Martial
you
arts,
do.
Shaolin Kung Fu is what I study. And I just received my black belt. My teacher was like, "It's time for you to go into the world and start, learn to, to teach." So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna be just training, because I trained at the age of 13. That's when I started my training, and I'm probably 20 something or 20, young.
20 something.
Yeah, and I didn't want to. I didn't want to at all. So one day, me and this fucker were just partying, and I get a call right in the morning. It's probably 7:00.
Barely going to bed.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Like for real.
Barely going to bed. And my boy Smitty goes, "Hey, man, I told him about you. This director's looking for martial artists, and I told him about how good you are with your kung fu." So yeah, I said, "Okay." So I brought him with me. We just go.
Still hungover.
We show up hungover. I mean, and I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, so the guy comes up to me.
Give me one more beer and I'll be all right.
The guy hands me a sword, which is my specialty. So I started running the form, and by this time, I didn't know that when you're in front of the camera, you got to slow down.
Yeah.
So I was moving so fast that the guy was like, they couldn't see my
Your movements.
my movements. So like, he goes, and everybody in the room was like shocked. And then he goes, "Can you guys put a fight scene together?" He goes, we looked at each other like, "Oh yeah, simple."
Yeah, sure, no problem.
So
I got some water for you right there, my brother.
So yeah,
Oh,
so
true.
we put the fight scene together. Probably like 30 minutes.
Yeah, probably about 30 minutes.
Like 30 minutes, we put a fight scene together. And next thing you know, like they said action, and I'm throwing the punches. I'm really aiming for his face.
Yes.
And I'm really aiming for, like, I'm kicking towards his nuts, and this fucker really has to block. So we were moving so fast again that they had to stop us within the trick. Like, you guys can't move like that. And we're like confused. And they're like, what are you asking me to do? What do you want me to do?
Act it out.
Yeah,
You might not make it real.
I'm like, I'm not an actor. I'm just like, I'm a martial artist. So the 100 take, literally, it was 100 take.
100 take.
Because they made sure that I announced it. Like, this is the 100 take. So by the 100 take, we were tired. I'm just like,
There it is.
Exactly.
There it is.
If you can look at the video, it's all of that is our sloppiest takes ever. And
Like we look at that like the video is still up. Is it still up, right?
it's still up. You can still go on YouTube.
Like we look at
and
that
find it.
video and we're just like, bro, we were so slow. Because as a martial artist, if you're gonna throw a kick, like you want to
go speed, yeah.
exactly, the fastest, hardest kick
Yeah.
ever. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
What is y'all's take on all y'all on MMA? What do you think about it? Because there's a
It has
big
good
MMA
and bad.
fight
I think
coming
it
in.
has a good and bad.
Yeah.
As a martial artist, a traditional martial artist, I like the tradition because, like, as you get better, your teacher would demonstrate a new technique to you. Only if you're, if you got your shit together. Versus MMA, it's like, as long as you're paying the coach. I mean, don't get me wrong. As long as if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I feel like martial art was meant to help us for the discipline. Like right now, we don't have no discipline. Like these kids are just fucking wild, or people are just comfortable with talking shit and not getting punched in the mouth. So
Online.
yeah, that's
yeah.
keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
But I feel like martial arts helps you with the discipline. It helps you with like stress, anxiety. It has many benefits.
Yeah.
But MMA, I don't know. Like it does, but it doesn't.
So your part mostly that you don't like is the fact that they don't get to stay and train with a master or
Yeah,
whoever it is,
yeah.
coach for their like. Because some of them do, but some of them don't change from coach to coach, and of course they get paid because they got to make a living.
Right.
But they don't really focus on that one particular discipline. They try to be well rounded to be like the best one.
What Bruce Lee said, I fear the man that knows.
yeah, I don't fear the man who knows
1,000
the
techniques. I fear the man that trains one technique 1,000 times.
1,000 times. Like repetition is key.
Well, yeah.
Or 10,000 hours to master and things like that.
Dude.
What about yourself? MMA. What do you think?
Well, I like what MMA has done as far as they take the effectiveness of traditional martial arts. You know what I mean? And they show that, and they're able to mix different martial arts with, their body types and stuff like that, which I think is great and wonderful. However, I feel like MMA is kind of like the difference between like a home cooked meal and McDonald's. Like, sure, it's food, but you're missing that. You're missing that sitting down at the table with your mom. You're missing that wisdom that your sensei or your sifu, your because you're a kickboxing coach, it's not going to tell you how to handle life. My Sifu taught me how to handle life.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I knew how to throw a kick. You know what I mean? Your jiu-jitsu coach for your MMA is not going to, tell you, hey, this is how you handle situations where you're really angry. You know what I mean? But my Sifu taught me how to handle anger. You feel me?
Gotcha.
So that's like, I like the fact that, it's kind of like McDonald's. Everybody gets to eat, but you're missing that home-cooked meal.
Absolutely. What about you, Lupe? What do you think of MMA?
completely different. I love the blood.
You like it?
I love the fighting.
Have you checked out bare knuckle fight?
Yes, I have seen
like that one?
That
No,
is
that shit is actually
fucking
pretty cool.
crazy.
It's crazy.
So, I didn't do martial arts or anything like
Yeah.
that. I fought in the hood. I got street training.
Undefeated on the streets.
Yeah,
I got street training.
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't test my gangster.
some say he fought Jimmy Boy.
Nah.
No?
That's Sifu.
Oh my bad.
That's the teacher right there.
Hey,
That's the,
hey,
the
it's
grandmaster.
Jimmy Boy Baby.
Oh, my bad.
Please
Baby.
say the
he
baby.
say the baby. But the only problem I got with MMA is that these guys put their bodies on the line and they get fucking brutally destroyed out there. They don't make enough money.
That's true.
You talking about the UFC in general
UFC.
or all the other promotions in general? Period.
Damn near all of them. I
think
mean,
so.
if you look at boxing is king. They make the most money.
Well, that's the upper level.
The upper
of-
echelon.
Well,
But
yes,
because even the
upper
lower
levels.
ones are not making as
But-
much, and they have
but
to go
even
through a
at
lot
that-
of sacrifice.
Take any top UFC fighter, any of them,
Yeah,
and besides Conor McGregor, who else is making money like a boxer?
nobody.
None of them.
Nobody.
Not
They-
even
they're-
Conor by himself.
Not even.
Connor's
If
a
Conor
boxer,
fights
yo.
in the UFC, he might not even hit $1 million.
Yeah.
And these boxers, you take Gervonta Davis, best boxer out right now. How much is it going to cost him to fight?
I would
10
say
mil?
Haney
5
would be
mil?
a better boxer, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's up there as far as name and popularity.
Yeah, name and
and-
popularity
yeah.
only.
Canelo.
Canelo.
Canelo, name popularity. Canelo's.
You don't want to see him lose to somebody, though. It's fine. It's fine, bro.
That's what's
Look.
up. Tell me, go ahead, bro.
So leave Canelo alone. All right.
Okay, all right. My bad.
My bad. He's riding
took-
them over here.
He took a big challenge and he just lost.
It did. It was a big challenge, and he gave it what he could. He got beat up.
Hey,
Yeah.
but shout out to Canelo. He always gets back.
I was gonna be
back up.
surprised they call it the other way. I was like, man, no way.
I was hoping they didn't because
Yeah, he looks
Yeah.
bad, so bad, because boxing already has. I've seen videos of different people talking about fixing fights, so that stuff
Yeah.
really does exist.
Yeah.
It's real. And I was like, man, please don't let it be that, because I'm just gonna be like, man, boxing's just now become a little better than it used to be.
Yeah.
And then to do that, but anyways, you were saying.
I forgot what I was fucking saying.
So you were saying about MMA.
Oh yeah, MMA. They don't make as much as they should, and I think they take more punishment at the end of the day. I mean, if you ever seen Nate Diaz fight, he's always looking half dead at the end of the fight.
Yeah.
Because he takes so much punishment, and then you don't even make nowhere near the money that a boxer makes,
Right.
and they don't take that much punishment. I mean, they take punishment, but not compared to MMA fighters.
Another thing I think, well, that part too, but another thing that I think MMA is a little better on is because boxing, there's a lot of consistent blows to the head.
Yeah, there is.
But MMA can end with a submission or rear naked
Yeah, there-
or a chokeout, and that's it. And you don't have to. But the gloves are a little
thinner.
bit smaller.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that you don't know how many shots you can take to the head. And take me back to the time where you began and started joining them repetitively. It was second show you were just there, just visiting,
So
chilling.
the second show, I was just sitting on the side, and they were like, "Hey, come on the mic." I was like, "Oh shit, all right, yeah, sure." And I've always been able to talk and
Talk shit.
get through things and talk shit. It's just my nature. Like I can get along with people and I could talk about anything. And then one day he called me. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing, laying down." He goes, "Do you want to come to the show?" I'm like to go see her. He's like, "No, be on the show." I was like, "Oh, okay." Show starts at 9:00. It's like 8:30. So I'm like, I gotta hurry the hell up and get over here. Okay, so I went to the show, and he did that like 3 more fucking times.
Yeah, we did.
On purpose.
Like
Did it on
Because you know
purpose.
he was late. Or
No,
you're
no,
trying
no,
to-
it's-
you're
it's
trying to
called
test
me
his
last
discipline.
minute.
So, well, first,
But first it was just me and him. You know what I mean? So, but we me and him, me and Manny, we talked about, adding another person, stuff like that. And so he was like, well, I'm gonna call Pio up last moment and see if he's down.
I said I'm gonna give him 3 chances. I'm gonna give him 3 chances. That's gonna be his test. If he shows up, it's him, because we wanted him a long time ago, and not in that way.
In that way.
And I was like, so I said on the last one, I said, we'll just announce it on the show, because my sister was like,
after that third time,
I think my sister was like, he's so happy. Like when you get on the show, you can see he's happy, and I think this is like another side I've never seen on him. Like I said, where we come from, we don't do this, man. Like like it's
unheard of.
Yeah, it's unheard of. It's the hood, So, but for me to be able to bring someone from the hood and let him do him, he could bring more people. Bring a different aspect, even though we're from the same hood. But I mean, you can bring more different people that I don't know. And yeah, man, like ever since he adds
add a little flavor, a little spice.
He's out there, yeah. But that's how we started.
Tapatio.
The Cholula, bro.
On that love they use the Cholula, bro.
Elaborate a little bit more on y'all's part, and maybe yourself too, as far as like, what do you mean where you come from? Like, what exactly are you referring to?
The hood, like East Side.
We're from East Fort Worth.
East Fort Worth.
East Fort Worth, the Poly area.
Okay.
All day.
And what's over there exactly? How you describe it? Whether back in the day, so still to this day.
So back in the day when we were growing up, 90s.
90s.
Gang banging
and crackheads all over the place. And prostitutes.
Latin Kings were heavy.
Lots of prostitutes. Yes, Latin Kings.
were heavy.
Shout out to a lot of my homies that are Latin Kings still.
Funny story. I thought he got jumped in, and bro, I got jumped in too. He goes, I never got jumped in. Like, what? I was like,
over here, gangbanger over here.
I was like, so I got jumped in for nothing?
I was just cool with all of this.
Like, what the heck? Hey, I want to take that back. Hey, I didn't mean to get jumped in.
Hey, can you unjump me, bro?
Jump me?
Yeah, so, but then again, everybody around me, that's all that everybody around me was a gangster, There was nobody that was like, oh, don't do that. Everybody was like, oh, you do it, bro, do it. So, and after I found out he was, and I was kind of like, ain't that a bitch? Like,
I thought we were the same. I'm like, nah, that's just you.
So you became a gang member back then?
Yeah, but this was in 13?
2013?
No. This was when I was 13. Because
13 years old.
Right after I did that, I joined martial arts, and it changed my world. And actually,
how did you stop being a gang member? Then? You just tell her
stop
what.
showing up to stop showing up to the fucking meetings.
Did they forget about you?
Yeah, pretty much, because
never forget.
Everybody's either dead, locked up, so
Yeah,
right.
Everybody's gone.
Everybody's gone, bro.
I had a kid at 16, and I got kicked out of school, and I was just like, I ain't around anybody no more. I got to work. I got diapers to buy now.
So you had to work at 16 already?
Yeah.
Well, somewhat. So I didn't want to work at no fucking grocery store or a fucking fast food place. So
it's too cool for that.
It's hard to work.
It is hard
like
work,
these
bro.
people that work in the food industry work hard as fuck.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do that. So I was like, you know what? My Theo, he paints houses on the weekend. I go help him make 100 or 2, painting a couple houses. Cool. And then one of my friends worked at for a roofing company, and he was my age. He got kicked out of school, so he's like, "Hey, you want to come work over here with me?" I'm like, "All right, cool." I didn't know what the fuck I was getting into.
Bro, roofing is
the hardest
roofing is
fucking
hard.
I
thing.
did it one day and I quit.
I'm Mexican, but I'm not that type of Mexican.
That's the same thing I said.
I'm not that roofing. I'm not that cutting yard Mexican.
So-
and shout out to my Mexicanos that do all
Yeah,
that.
Hey, shout out
you
to-
I
motherfuckers
really
that
appreciate
do
y'all,
it.
but I'll be
Much
working.
love.
I'll be working from the house on my computer. I'll be on my
My
computer.
first
I'll
job
be
was
doing
cutting
this.
grass.
right.
I'm that type of Mexican.
Yeah.
I said all the time, not to disrespect anybody, but literally, shout out to y'all because that
Yeah.
shit is
Yes.
hard. It's
You
hard.
motherfuckers out there working in the sun,
I know.
you motherfuckers
I was
got
one
it.
of those.
107,
gotta do it.
110 degree
Get
weather.
out there,
Woo.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Just now have a different job, but I don't work on this, and I'm thankful for it,
man.
bro.
I can't do that.
So he took you to where?
So he took me to go work with him roofing. And it was like a week before I turned 18,
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I turned 18, my brother's like, "Hey, you want to come work with me at a metal fabrication company?" They're like, "Yes." Yes. So back then, I got hired on. I was getting paid like $8 an hour. Dang. And that was good back
That was
then.
above average. That was
Yeah.
the minimal was $5.15
Yeah,
at that
this was
time,
like
right?
in 2004.
Yeah.
You know,
you were making good money, bro.
Yeah.
I was like $8 an hour. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
Watch me. I'm gonna go get a car now. I was all excited, you know. And then I've been doing metal fabrication ever since.
Nice. That's what's up. All right. So tell me about, I know you wanted to talk a little bit and touch up on immigration. Why was it that you wanted to bring it up? And I know that you had mentioned, because I think it's important. I think it's not something that, I know that it's getting talked about. I know there's all kinds of stuff that the government's supposed to be working on with the Dreamers and everything like that. But why is it that you wanted to bring it up? What was, I think you had mentioned you knew somebody or somebody was going through something like that?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of, shout out to my tios. I'm not going to say which one. They just got here.
We ain't gonna drop the dime.
They just got here. Al rato los veo, tío. But, I mean, that immigration thing is like, I think it's because we were talking about the kids in cages.
Yes, we were talking about it.
And we were talking about like how that shit is just, nobody's talking about it no more.
I don't think we're talking about it still now.
No, nobody.
And I think they're still.
But the problem is the kids are still in the cages.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was talking about that. I knew a friend like that was into that, but now she's not. Like, how do we go from talking about it to let's do something to?
Oh, it's because Trump's not here.
So what did she move to? What did she move into? Like, what is she
I don't
into
even
now?
know. It was the first. It started over a dude, if I remember. When she started about like this whole immigration thing, it was over a guy. Now that the guy broke up with her, now she doesn't care about that anymore. But I'm just like, that's still an issue, though. You know, for me, it's like, and I have met Mexicans that once they get their papers, they're now that they completely do a 360 on you. Like, oh well, that's their problems. They need to come here illegally. I'm like, well,
You can't hear illegally.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah, but last month you were one of them too.
right? Just like you were.
No, pero yo ya tengo papeles.
Yeah, exactly.
Ahorita.
Yeah.
Now.
But you see what I mean? Though it's like some of them get the papers and they change, and they're like, well.
But it's because I think they see it the way that way because some people don't make an effort to do that, to try to get their papers or anything in general like that, and some people just can't. It's a harder situation for them.
Right.
I mean,
For example, what would it be? Something like that.
I don't know. Like some people get their papers just because they have anchor babies. Like you had a kid here.
Anchor baby?
You know what
Never
anchor
heard of
baby
anchor
is?
baby? I don't know. What
You never heard of it?
I never heard of it.
So I'm an anchor baby. My parents came over here,
Had
me
you,
here.
and now you're
So
American.
funny thing is, my mom crossed the border like 8 months pregnant with me,
Nice.
and she had me here.
Crazy.
So if I
So
would have
that-
came a month earlier, I would have been Mexican.
So the last person was trying to even get rid of anchor babies. So even he would have been accepted here.
Oh, wow.
Even though you were born here in the U.S., they were like
Yeah.
gonna ship you out too.
So like, since I was born here, if my mom wanted to become a citizen, she could use me.
Oh.
Because he's automatically a citizen.
Because I'm automatic.
As long as she's not over at the age of 18 and she's not married, if I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
mistaken, that she can apply for you and start, which is a process because I wasn't legal for a long time.
Right.
But there was fines that you have to pay. You have to get an attorney. You have to go through steps, and it takes a long time. You have to go to get physicals, get shots, and eventually you get your what they call a green card, your residency card, and then you can begin working with your social and everything. But it takes some time. It takes some time to do all that, and it takes a lot of money, like you said. So
Yeah.
a lot of times, first of all, is not asking enough questions, not know where to go to, and not having the resources, meaning the funds also. And then also because it takes a long time. And luckily for me, it was my father that was, good. And then we were able to, my siblings were able to apply. But a lot of other people don't have that option,
Right.
And even if you do marry somebody that is now it's for just that reason, they're really on it to make sure that that's the reason, not just to become a legal here.
Right.
So, yeah. But those kids in the cages right now that they're really no more coverage. And I know there's people, activists going out there and talking about it and doing something about it.
Right.
They're going to have a lot of problems. Not only that, but there's a lot of problems already going on with everything that's going on in there. You're talking about abuse, physical
missing,
abuse,
yeah.
and all kinds of stuff that they're going to have problems with.
And my only issue with it about the whole kids in cages thing is that this started under Obama.
Yeah, it's been going. It wasn't the last guy.
It started under
That's when
Obama.
That's when the policy was written.
And it
Underneath his
continued
administration.
till Trump. And then they were like, hey, Trump, you got kids in cages. And then Trump's like, I didn't put them there. They were already there. He didn't do anything to make it any better.
Right.
But yet they're still in the cages.
He wanted to build a retractable wall or a wall that doesn't work.
Yeah.
that's
A beautiful wall.
so
But I mean,
ridiculous.
what's Biden doing right now?
Well, see that's it. That's the
fair
thing.
life.
Is that that's one thing that I have to say about like the quote unquote conservative sides or Republicans, whatever, is that they hold their leadership to task if they don't fulfill what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean? As opposed to like the liberals, they're not holding them to task of what they're supposed to do. Biden should have had these kids out of the cages, and also just to put it out there, all of the African Americans who took the support from the Latinos and Hispanics when it came to Black Lives Matters are surprisingly silent when it comes to this immigration issue.
I wonder
and
why.
I think that's wrong.
Why do you think that happens? Why do you think this is not their problem?
Because that's what it is. It's like,
But whenever
it's
they
not
were
my
having
problem.
problems, we were okay to back them up, and that's not okay. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's like we're all in this together.
We're going to become the majority. The minorities, African Americans.
The minorities have been the majority
It's
of the world.
20 to
Let them
30
hear you,
years.
bro.
20 to 30 years. If we don't mess up this world, if we don't mess it up to the point that where none of us are going to be here, if we don't mess it up to that point within 20 to 40 years, the Latinos are going to be. And that's the reason why certain things are being implemented now. And this may be just me thinking, maybe like exploring like a rabbit hole on it. But that's the reason why certain things are being implemented, for the same reason that certain people are going away and becoming the minority, and they need to get those numbers up.
Right.
So
That's exactly what it is.
this is an interesting, just a view that I've had because I've traveled quite a bit the last year or so. But you could go, if they say that we're the minority,
Right.
but you can go anywhere in Texas and see nothing but Mexicans all over the place, everywhere.
Everywhere.
So now, if you go to Philadelphia, because I worked in Philadelphia for a little bit, you see our large population of white people and black people. There's no Mexicans over there. I don't understand and comprehend how white people are the majority. If it doesn't look that way, like everywhere you look, there's more of black and Mexican everywhere else compared to how many.
So,
people
do you think
there
it's the census that is not being reported correctly for the same purpose, or do you think that maybe the Latinos or the minorities are not really proactively engaging on those census?
It's probably both. It'd probably be a mixture of both.
Well, it's they play with the numbers, like, just Hispanics, that's including all Latinos, just Hispanics compared to the I guess European Americans, lack of a better term. Well, that's the term I like to use, European Americans. That's where they came from. But anyway, they tend to forget that they come from Europe. But anyway,
What? They didn't originate from this place?
no,
They're not native to this land.
I'm sorry.
No, surprising.
I keep telling people all the time. There's only two people that actually belong in the United States: the Native Americans and blacks. The Native Americans is
I believe there was
and
black
blacks
people
because
here
they weren't
before there was
they
white
didn't come
people
over
here.
here.
I think, yeah.
I believe there was black people here before there
I
was
think
white people
scientists
here.
already, they were trying to, I think that's one of the theories.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. But to get back on the topic, Hispanics as a group aren't as numerous as European Americans. Asians as a group aren't as numerous as European Americans. But Asians, blacks, Hispanics, Middle Easterns as a group are more numerous than European Americans in this country. So we are minorities, but we're really the majority of America.
It would combine us all.
Exactly.
All the ones.
That's
that
why they
You
always
combine all the colors and we outbeat them.
That's why they always try to separate us. That's why when the pandemic hit and there was violence against Asians, who did they report on? Oh, it was a black person who attacked an Asian because they're trying to separate the Asians and the blacks. Because if we came together,
and there was a lot of they actually were doing the damages themselves.
Yep. And there's work right now on the third party, again, on another additional party.
that's what we really need.
Being created for
Yeah,
the
this
ones that
two-party
are
system
kind of
ain't
in
shit.
the middle,
Mm-hmm.
not Republican, not Democrat. You can still keep whatever you would like, but the ideals of
Just
both of
another-
them have are too extreme. They're not being met in the middle, and there's a lot of people that are not being heard. So there's a new party, I think it's called Forward, that kind of lets you keep. You want to consider Republican, that's fine, but this is the things that we want to push for our candidate because none of our parties are going. And I think the two-party
they're
system is all
old.
twisted.
Yeah.
We got old people telling us what to do.
Yeah.
And then they're not even going to have to live by the rules. that
Yeah,
they
they're
set.
not.
Exactly. I'm afraid
We're
that
going to have to endure all this the Supreme Court is doing in 20, 30 years. It's
And they're
not
gonna
even
be
right
dead by
now.
then.
Yeah.
And then even though, whether you want it or not, that last guy, whether you want it or not, that fool did a lot of moving it and shaking for certain people and put
Right.
people in
Yes, he did.
position. And he did exactly what he was gonna. They wanted him to do. He did exactly that. And what did they say they wanted to overturn? And they
Roe v.
sure
Wade.
did it.
Yep.
And right after that comes all the other stuff. And I don't know how it affects me in general. Me, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really. I don't feel it anything. But there are
Yeah.
certain people that do feel those changes. And that mother trucker did it.
Yeah.
He did it for them.
Can you imagine? You go to Biden, and he goes, "Hey, I think I used to own you." What?
You know what I don't understand? Like, well, I do understand it, but at the same time, it's crazy to me that the origin of the U.S. was for religious persecution, right? And they came here, and all of a sudden they realized, oh my goodness, there's all this fertile land and all these beautiful lands. We got to take it back, right? But even within the Constitution, even there's only a small phrase that says in God or something like that.
Right.
It mentions God, but everything else is freedom of religion, meaning that you can, exercise the religion or not exercise the religion. But there's always this religion people, they're trying to push whatever it is that, but it's not a religious country. There's a reason why people came here for the same reason they wanted to exercise whatever they wanted to. And they always wanted to push that
But they always want to push that one view.
but it's not the way it is based on the Constitution. If you want to base everything on the Constitution, I think it's just like everything. Like they only bring up certain things if it's beneficial to the argument.
There you go.
It's not beneficial if they're not going to. Okay, back to the show. Sorry, great stuff, great content. Okay, what was the most interesting guest you had so far?
Dude, I think all of them.
All of them?
To me, each guest is so different.
It's like
My-
picking
my-
it's like picking a favorite kid.
It's because everybody
Kinda.
has something
But
different
still.
that they bring to the table.
Yeah.
Like everybody's a different person. Just last week we had
Putas paletas.
Putas Paletas.
Put this palette.
Oh yeah,
they were
it-
cool.
It was it's a woman. Shout out to Naomi.
The homie.
the homie.
Naomi the homie. Her Instagram
And just Chris.
and just Chris. She has a paleta cart that says Putas Paletas. And she goes to parties and events and hands out Mexican
Yeah.
paletas. And parties with them, which is fucking brilliant
I
if
know
you
which
want to
one-
just
I know
go
which one.
party and get paid for it.
I know which one's my favorite. My favorite is Drunk News.
Oh.
news.
Drunk News is my favorite because...
Tell me what is that exactly?
Okay, so I don't even know how the hell we came about Drunk News.
So I was telling them one day, I was like, hey, we need to do not like a news
yeah.
news
Yeah, it was
show.
like a news show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a news show, but we drink while we're doing it. And then we get fucked up all the way through the show, So
So y'all don't have pregame before y'all start seeing the news. Y'all just start
we
getting
just
in
start
motion.
drinking and we start going into it.
Yeah, and so one day he goes, I think I don't know if it wasn't me or him, but like let's invite some people over, just random dudes that the boys watching the news, and the first one was a disaster. It wasn't a disaster. It was pretty cool because
It was a prototype.
yeah, it was and that's why we got the idea because it's like we started on topic. Towards the end of the show, everybody's just like out there.
Yeah, you
I think-
talk about all sorts of stuff.
I think his brother was the one that was talking.
yeah, that's
That-
right.
That's
We
when
had,
you were all snitching.
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah.
brother broke my arm. He broke my nose.
I got all the trauma out
I
of
ran into a truck.
the years.
that is actually the funniest episode.
Yeah.
If you go back, that's to me that's the funniest episode.
Which one was it? Because there's a different one.
So we do this every month. Every month we have a drunk
The
news.
last show every month. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
So which one's the one that y'all did? Because I think I seen a little bit of one of them, but I think there was like other guests. Maybe it was that episode. I mean, I didn't
We've
finish
had
watching.
we kind of had the same guest every time.
We've had
Yeah.
his
And
brother.
we just add
Miguel,
one or two more persons here and
we'll
there.
add- yeah.
This time we're gonna switch it up.
We're doing an all woman.
We're gonna do all women too.
all
even
women
us,
drunken
we'll be
news.
women.
Yeah.
All women drunken news.
Yeah.
Okay, what about yours? Who's your favorite? Did you name one?
No, I was getting into that. Then we started.
Do you have one?
Okay, what is yours, Lupe?
I don't know. I don't really think I have a favorite.
Really?
Like,
So Drunken News is his favorite segment, but he didn't
Yeah.
say who's his favorite person.
yeah, you got
Just in
you gotta say
general.
who's
My
your favorite
favorite-
person.
Like again, not to create controversy, but I don't know something that you liked about their story or
I can know
anything.
one of my teacher was on my actual martial art teacher was on the show,
Oh, nice.
and that was my favorite episode.
Damn, you took mine.
Well, no, it was my martial art teacher because we had. Oh yeah,
We had all three of them.
Yeah, all three of my teachers on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And that was one of my favorite episodes.
Mine was my homeboy Alan. That was our jail episode.
Oh, Ollie. Yeah,
Ali. Yo,
Yeah,
Ollie.
shout out.
he made a spread.
A prison spread. A
Oh
prison
yeah,
pizza.
yeah, they have a pizza spread.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a
he made a
spread.
prison
Bro, that was
pizza.
good.
Yeah.
That
It was
actually
fucking delicious. I thought it was gonna be gross as hell. That shit was good.
It looked gross, but it was fucking delicious.
Okay. Tell me. So for whatever reason, some of y'all are magnets to getting arrested sometimes, and sometimes it's for the dumbest things ever. It's not even like anything rational behind it, but all of a sudden y'all end up on the ground with your hands and cuffed.
Okay.
Lupe, what is one story that you had?
All right, so one time, it was during the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. I remember it vividly, and I was
Remember it like it was yesterday.
yeah, you know, I was drinking, you know, we're watching the fight, we were enjoying ourselves. Fight's over, everybody's like, hey, let's open this bottle, let's drink, and I'm like, hey, fuck yeah, let's go. So we're sitting there taking shots. It wasn't even because we were loud or anything.
Mm-hmm.
My homeboy's like, hey, I don't remember where I parked. He walked me downstairs. I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. I'll show you where you parked because I lived in an apartment complex. So I lived in the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
I made it down to the bottom, you know, walking him and his girl. And then like 5 cops just pull up. Get your hands up. Me being the guy that I am, I'm like, yes, sir. Hands are up. I'm not even asking why.
Yeah.
Automatically. Just
My other friend is like, why? We didn't do nothing. Why the hell do we got to put our hands up? I was like, hey, chill, bro. We didn't do nothing. We're good, you know? They'll let us go. Just put your hands up. He goes, fuck that. I'm not going to do
Oh,
that
my goodness.
because I didn't do anything. We didn't do
always that
nothing
one
wrong.
guy.
I'm like, hey, man, I'm cooperating. You know, and I was just, you know, I was going. So apparently somebody broke into some cars or whatever, you know, and we had just happened to walk outside whenever they were looking for him. So I was like, you know, okay. And they're like, give us a description of the suspects. While he was trying to get the description of the suspects, everybody that was inside the house started coming out to the patio. And they're like, you fucking pigs, they ain't do nothing.
I was talking so much shit.
Oh my.
He was part of it. He
I was
was
there.
fucking part of it.
I was talking shit. I was at the balcony. I was talking shit. Look at them. They got nothing to do. Up until they came upstairs. I shut the fuck up.
They went upstairs. Everybody got quiet.
I went to sleep.
So you know, I'm sitting there.
Standing up.
So as we're sitting there, you know, trying to find out what's going on, the cop's like, "Can I get the description of the suspect?" Oh yeah, 2 black males, about 6
6'1"
feet tall,
yeah.
wearing a black and gray hoodie. I'm like, I had a black hoodie. My homeboy had a gray hoodie. I'm like, oh wow, we fit the description so well.
But yeah, not black.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but you know, I'm like,
Or they're 6 foot.
so
Oh,
I'm,
6 feet.
yeah, so I'm thinking like, yeah, we're both definitely not 6 feet at all. You know, so I'm thinking, hell yeah, we get to go, you know, honest mistake. No problem. Since they were making so much noise, they were like, nah, we're gonna check you out. We need your ID, we need everything. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, the warrant.
Yeah, I had a warrant, you know. And I was just like, so, you know, he read, you know, everything. He handcuffed me, he sat me on the floor. He's like, you know, then everybody got real mad and everybody continued to talk shit. And then the cop tried to go up the stairs and go into my apartment. But luckily my wife was like, no, you're not going to come
Yeah,
into
you got
my
a search
apartment.
warrant.
You don't have any right to come in here.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, they argued about it, well, you know, whatever. And then he's like, is there anything you want to leave with my wife? Like, yeah, take my wallet out, leave her the money so she can bail me out. So, you know, he pulls my wallet out. If anybody knows me, I work a lot. I've always worked a lot of hours, you know. Like, I'm that guy that works 10, 12-hour days every day, and including on Saturday, you know.
Yeah.
So I always had fat-ass checks. And, you know, I had just cashed it, you know, and I didn't have a bank account back then. You know, I had all my money in my fucking wallet. So I got like $800 in my wallet. He goes, what are you doing with all this? I'm like, motherfucker, I worked. So I stopped cooperating once I know I'm going to jail.
Dang.
Like, what's the point of being nice
what's
now?
the point?
I mean, right.
Yeah, you know, fuck that. I'm like, motherfucker, I work. He goes, oh, yeah, what kind of work do you do? I'm like, I don't even need to tell you. Like, what does it matter?
More
He
than
goes,
your
well, it's just,
dumbass.
you know, you have a lot of money. I'm like, that's because I work hard for money. I have a job that I go to every day. You know, like what you're doing right now,
Yeah, yeah.
except You know,
I'm actually.
I would
good
be
at
doing
my
it
job.
better if I was you.
And I don't harass people.
Yeah.
Right.
Just be petty. Ran your record instead of like, bro,
Instead
you
of
don't
just
fit the
letting this
script.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever.
It's
I'm
better
already
as
in the
fuck.
cop car. You know, wife's got the money. I'm like, cool. You know, whatever. I'm going to jail. I'll get out in the morning. No problem. And the whole time the cops getting calls. You know, I'm like, oh man, that sounds like it could be something important. But now you're just wasting your time with me. You know, you could be catching criminals.
The real
And he's
bad
like, I
guys.
got a criminal in the back seat. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I had a tail light out. Take me to jail forever.
I was laughing so hard.
I was so sarcastic, like it was funny. When I got out of the car, he was so mad. He like yanked me out the car. You know,
I've done the same thing before. When I'm in the back already with cuffs, I know you're supposed to stay quiet. We're already going that way. So
Like-
I was like, might as well.
Yeah,
just,
might as well.
in my mind, I'm like, he's either gonna whoop my ass or he's just gonna be real mad all day.
Exactly.
One of the cops.
Either way, it's a win because if he beats my ass in the back of the cop car, I'm just gonna act like I passed out and I'm suing.
I'm suing. I'm
I'm
big
suing the
time.
shit out of him.
One of the cops that happened to me, and one of the cops like, and I was just the same thing. I was just like, F it. And then you have a mute button, and he just set me up even more. And heck, nah, it just started rambling different crap.
No, but your wife
nothing
does.
threatful,
Yeah.
nothing, just stupid stuff, and just mumbling like my freedom of speech, blah blah blah, blah and it just going on and just
Really?
whatever. You already had me, like,
That's funny.
but it was something it was some funny situation, something like he should have let me go, but he just didn't. That was like, okay, well, fine then. I'm just gonna run my lip.
Yeah, like if you're going to jail, what's the point of
What's
being
the
quiet
point?
now?
Right.
All right, y'all mentioned on one of y'all shows that y'all had a pilot that y'all shot. Was it a pilot for Netflix or y'all were just BSing about it?
It was when he doesn't know how to shut his mouth. Yeah, we were shooting. Actually, my boy Marty was there. When we shot Butch Parker, and
Oh yeah.
we were
Yeah,
shooting.
we almost got killed.
We were shooting for Netflix. For Netflix, I think it's. And so this was along those times where it was the DC. It was a sniper.
The DC sniper.
I think-
Yeah, like
the
the
DC sniper
yeah,
that
we
was
had a-
like shooting from a van.
Yeah. So it was around that time. We went out to was it Veterans Park?
Veterans Park.
We went out to Veterans Park because the scene was like it was like a sniper shot, from far away, and we had two actors. One had a hood. So actually, I shot myself. So because I was playing the guy who was getting kidnapped, or I was kidnapped, or
Something like that.
hostage, or something like that, and I also played the sniper. So, but anyway, so I had this big ass fucking rifle, right? And so we finished shooting and stuff like that, and so we're walking around with this rifle.
Like a real rifle? Or was it a mock make believe rifle? It was an air, always air. One of
But
the
it,
other
but
ones.
it,
But
it looked
real.
real. It looked real as fuck. So I think I'm carrying it, right?
Yeah.
So we're all walking back and stuff like that, and this guy is walking with his kid, and he's like, hey, what's up? What are you guys up to? And I said, me being a fucking dumbass
Dumbass.
I am, was like, oh, just out here shooting people.
Oh my goodness! You do that often. Even with what was it? A couple other stories that you have, like the punchline when you want to hit it, you got your timings off.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
I just gotta say something, bro. Like
That's always been
Especially
his
with
problem.
everything that's going on, bro. What do you think he's gonna do?
That's always been his problem. And
There was a couple times when I heard stories about that. Just the timing is off a little
Yeah.
bit, or like it's just the wrong time.
It's just the wrong time
It's a
to-
serious
to joke.
situation. I know
Yeah.
you want to alleviate it, but it's just the wrong thing to say. Like people are getting shot, and then you say you're shooting people. What do you
Yeah.
think the man's gonna think?
And no, that dude goes, "Oh yeah," he like, "Look, I got a gun," and I'm like, "No." It's like we start explaining to him. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Oh
Man is like, no.
So was it for a movie, for a show? What was
It was
pilot for?
a friend that he wrote a script and he wanted to pitch it to Netflix, and
yeah, so we shooting.
he got with Marty to film it, and I think we were in it actually too, so we were trying to shoot a pilot for it. So
Nice.
yeah, but he doesn't know how to shut up.
I mean, what
He's always. It's not the first time too. There's been other incidents where he jokes and people don't know if he's serious or he's not. See,
All right.
Rashaad's sense of humor is, how can I put it? Like, you got to know him to understand it. If you don't know him and some random guy just blurts out something, I think it was one time it was a homegirl of mine. Now this goes back to way back. She made a sexual joke towards me or something like that, and then you jumped in.
Oh,
And she goes, I don't know you. She goes, yeah, but I know Manny. He goes, I don't care. I don't know you. She got all offensive.
Yeah, she was.
I can see that.
She was so offended. Well, that was the party in my pants or something like that.
Yes.
Oh. So he had this friend, platonic friend, that he'd known for a while and stuff like that.
She
And
don't talk to me no more.
and she had texted him, but at the time, we were broke, so we were kind of sharing phones. And so
You started replying back?
yeah, so the text message came through.
What
She
the
was
heck?
like, where's the party at? So I was like, in my pants. Are you down?
Oh my goodness.
I didn't know.
What would you describe his humor? Because I think he's just timing's off. But
He doesn't know when. I think to me, he doesn't know when.
it's an appropriate time to
Yeah,
joke
yeah.
about certain
When to
things.
turn it on, when to turn it off.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah. I always go for the joke.
I like the part whenever you were talking about that he had to call you because he was going to the funeral. He had to get all those jokes out before he got to the funeral. Good idea. But I thought it was hilarious.
I don't know if anybody knows this, but hey, I forgot what episode that was, but
Yeah.
this fucker was calling me. I said, "What's going on?" Nah, man, you busy right now? I said, "Nah." Hey, just go with it. All right, I got it's a serious situation, but I wrote some jokes down. Hold on.
So my grandfather had passed.
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry about your loss.
Oh, no problem. He's a better place. So he had just passed, and I'm driving to the funeral, which is like an hour away, and I laughed to keep from crying.
Yeah.
But this is like the other side of the family that doesn't really like joke like that. So I was like, okay. So I called. He's the only person that kind of understands. Like, you gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll call him up on like some tragic
It's a
shit.
good coping mechanism.
Yeah, like I'll call him up on some tragic shit, and the first thing he does is make fun of me. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, "Oh, bro, I broke up with my girl." He was like, "Again? Which one was it?" You know what I mean? Like but it's that kind of, relief for the trauma. You know what I mean? So I called him up. I was like, "Bro, I'm on my way to the funeral."
Hold on. I got a problem.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you a joke. I don't know. There was one time a friend of mine, because he said this. He said a friend of mine was going through a breakup, and he goes, "Bro, get over it. Right now, she's she's getting her, and he's like tears are coming down.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the second day they broke
That's
up.
so
Like this
wrong.
and he's laughing just like he is now. He goes, "Bro, she's probably taking a pounding right now."
She is not thinking about you, bro.
Right now.
She's got two guys going like this, bro.
This dude had tears coming down his eyes. bro.
Yeah.
You made him cry.
That's what I mean. Yes, I'll tell you who it is.
He did.
But that's what I mean. Like he doesn't like. I'm like, Rashaad, read the fucking room, bro. Like this guy.
I'm with them on there.
The
Just gotta
room.
get over it.
I think it's the timing in the room reading is just off, bro.
Because it's again, I've and this fucker knows, like, I've been through so much tragedy in my life, and some of the best humor comes from the most tragic things.
Oh, no, man.
The thing is, like, the best comics have the most tragic backgrounds. Your George Lopez's, your Richard Pryors, your Kevin Hart's, your Dave Chappelle's. They have if you look in their background, they have tragedy all in their background. But they're some of the funniest motherfuckers ever.
Yeah.
And
Are y'all gonna host the brushes? What's it called? Paintbrush
brushes?
ones?
No, the brushes. Yeah, we already had them
I
on
think
there.
that'll be good if y'all do the.
I think we were talking about it, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna
you were
do,
talking on their
episode-
episode about it.
yeah, we
I like
were-
the promo video y'all cut for that
Oh,
episode.
that's
That's all thanks to Marty
Shout out to
over
Marty.
here.
Marty De Leon.
Great work. And then I
Grammy
think y'all be good.
nominated.
Yeah.
And then if you're not doing it,
Emmy
stand-up, bro, you
nominated.
need to start working
Sorry,
on
Emmy.
your material. It'll be dope for you to do something like that.
Yeah, I've actually done 2 open mics.
Yeah.
So far, which was, they were pretty good. I got some good laughs and stuff like that. So I just haven't really pursued it
We actually want to plan that out to
to actually shoot.
shoot a show of
Yeah.
us.
That'll be
trying it,
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
because I think we're all individually funny in
Yeah.
a certain way.
Yeah.
I
Y'all
think
can feed
so,
off each other as y'all doing the class and whatever, and they'll come up pretty good.
I think for me, I need an audience.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
that's what I'm saying. The class will be
Yeah,
there.
the class would be the
Yeah. because,
So,
like,
so the class will be the audience, and they're whatever y'all will be the experts anyway.
I've done it. Like I remember one time we were filming, and the CJ goes, "All right, man, do this, and that." And I couldn't be funny. He goes, so he went back, and they had to grab him. They had to grab another friend. He goes, and they set him down. He goes, all right, this fucker only performs better with an audience.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, it's comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'll have the class. So we're gonna run out of time. So tell me all the social media. Where can they listen to the podcast, your show, and what are your social media for all y'all?
You can definitely reach the show, The Cancer Show, on Facebook. That's CANCELLED. The Cancer Show. We're on Facebook. That's our Instagram. We have
Facebook, TikTok,
TikTok
the same.
Snapchat.
For OnlyFans as well. If you we are
OnlyFans real or you BSing me?
no for real.
There is.
Bro, we do have OnlyFans.
Okay, nice.
I mean, because you know, we gotta have
Somebody's gonna want to see my butthole eventually.
You gotta expand.
exactly.
All right.
A
So
lot of Manny's feet pics are on there.
awesome,
Send him
amazing.
feet pics. He loves
Yeah,
that.
he's got a foot fetish, so just send
I
feet
do.
pics.
Who got the foot
Inbox
fetish? You
him.
said
I know.
you?
Inbox him.
He's got a
Thanks
foot
a lot,
fetish.
asshole.
He's got a foot
Tell
fetish.
her.
So
That was a rumor that fucker over there started.
No, it's not a rumor. I kind of
It's not a
smell his
rumor.
socks.
No, I didn't.
I walk into
Y'all wear matching shoes.
Yeah.
So
We are.
Ah, damn.
oh snap! I didn't know, bro. I didn't know we were doing that, bro. I went
Nah,
crazy.
we didn't even know we were. Anyways,
Yeah, we just
no,
showed
yeah.
up,
So
bro.
check us out on
Look,
social media.
Oh
The
no!
Cancer
Look,
Show.
look, I walked into the room one day and he was asleep, and he had socks everywhere. And they weren't his. I'm like, those look like girl socks.
So you don't like the feet. He likes the socks.
No,
He like
I don't know.
pictures of the feet.
I think he
don't
likes the smell of the
Oh,
feet.
I mean, some guy,
because it wasn't laundry day, bro.
some guys collect undergarment. I guess your thing is socks. I mean,
Nah.
take your own. We're nobody to judge. Man.
Christmas,
Take your own.
Exactly.
Hey,
Like I don't judge.
It's 2022, bro.
Yeah, it's
Anything's
okay.
accepted.
No
All
kink
right.
shaming.
So again, y'all do amazing work on your show. It's
thank you
funny.
so much.
It's funny and
thank
it's hilarious. Y'all's perspective, all y'all combined, is different. And then with your podcast being on YouTube, that reaches the world, and Spotify and wherever else y'all put it, I mean, definitely y'all have y'all doing great. And I can see y'all doing bigger potential for all the connections you have. So I hope the best for y'all to keep doing your show. And I appreciate y'all stopping by. So the Council Show, you are a Global Latin Factor. So thank you very much for being here. We appreciate
Very
it.
much.
And one last question before I let you go. If someone was to Google you or search you on some kind of search engine, what do you hope to find from you? We're going to start on that side with Lupe.
Hopefully, no dick pics.
it's just small.
That's it?
You gotta zoom in.
I mean, I hope they don't find anything. I don't want y'all to know shit about me.
Okay.
I just want to come on the show and do my thing, and that's it.
But you know, people only want fame because it brings residuals.
Money, yeah.
I want the money too,
Yeah.
but I don't want the fame. Like,
Okay. So if you see him, just know that you know him, but he don't want to be bothered.
if you see
And,
me, just realize that if you fucking cross my personal space, I will fucking hit you. Like,
he got street cred.
You're too close.
What about yourself?
You can actually Google me and actor Manuel Lerma, and all my information pops out. So.
All right. And that's what you want him to find, or is there
Yeah,
anything
yeah. I mean,
else?
no, you can Google me. That's whatever.
But talk about years from now. What
Years
else?
from now,
oh, you mean years from now?
he goes, something about now.
Hopefully, I hit the lotto and I get $1 billion today.
Okay. That's one. What about you?
Same.
All right.
I want them to Google me and either a bunch of dick pics or my net worth. Either one of those.
Either one
Or
of those.
together.
I
I
want
don't know.
They're both gonna be small. They're both gonna be small.
I'm hoping years from now they'd be bigger. You know, with technology. You know,
Surgeries.
You know,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Artificial intelligence.
artificial intelligence, bro.
You know they got the shot now.
Hey, you know,
Hey.
so
All right. Well,
many
appreciate
shots?
y'all. Thank
Hey,
you very
thank
much.
you so much, Chris.
Thank you very much.
This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We are the spice in this melting pot. We're just the world. Till next time. Thank you very much for checking out this episode of the Global Latin Factor podcast. If you are enjoying the content, go and subscribe right now. Help us reach our channel goal of 1,000 subscribers so we can have more content coming out. And again, we appreciate the ones that already subscribed. Go like, go comment. Thank you very much. Subscribe. Thank you.
What is de la Vigo? Walks like a pero but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana and reach from Puerto Rico. On a pirate ship, you don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and fame, but Juan is flamingo is no walker.